Let's move on to our third type of independent demand models for managing inventory, and that is the quantity discount model. Up to this point, we've gone over the economic order quantity model, the economic production quantity model, and now we're going to talk about the quantity discount model. The way the quantity discount model varies from the other two models is that it takes the purchase cost of items into consideration. So earlier, for both the EOQ and the EPQ formulas, we've been looking at the annual holding costs and the annual setup costs to determine what the lowest total cost would be given those two inputs. So we've been looking at holding costs and setup costs. Well, there's a big piece of the equation that's missing, and that's how much does this item cost me? Is it $100 an item per year, or is it a $100,000 item per year? What's our extended annual cost? So we take the quantity discount model into consideration because not only are we looking at the annual cost of those items, but as everyone knows, you generally get price breaks or quantity discount reductions by ordering more. Think about when you go to a retail store or the supermarket, they are incentivizing you to buy more. So if you buy two, you get the third free. Or if you've ever bought things at a retail store, if they say, okay, if you buy one t-shirt, it's $20. But if you buy 3 t-shirts, the price is going to be $15 per shirt. So they're giving you a quantity discount by ordering more. So the quantity discount model looks at taking into consideration getting price breaks for ordering more. Many suppliers offer discounts for purchasing larger quantities of goods because of the economies of scale. They want to ship larger loads, not have to break items apart, and so they give an incentive to increase total revenue. So what we are doing is we're taking the economic order quantity model and we are adding the purchase cost to determine the quantity discount model. So you can see here is our economic order quantity model, and we are adding the unit price multiplied by the annual demand. So if something costs $1 and you buy 200 of them per year, your purchase cost is 200. 1 multiplied by 200 gives you 200, and that is your purchase cost. So that's the quantity discount model. We're going to take that purchase cost into consideration when making purchasing decisions and which quantities we should buy. So you can see in this example, if you order 1 to 44 pieces, you're going to pay $2 per box. If you order 45 items at a time and up to 69, you're going to pay $1.70 per box. If you order 70 pieces or more, or 70 boxes or more, it's going to cost you $1.40 per box. This is a very realistic example because organizations try to incentivize you to buy more. So you can see in the little cost curve here that as your quantity goes up, as your purchase quantity goes up, your price goes down. So 1 through 44, you're paying $2 per box. But once you get to 45 boxes, your price drops down to $1.70. Then as you go all the way up to 69 boxes, once you buy 70 boxes, your price drops down to $1.40. So before we even go any further, think about this conceptually for just a second. If you're a buyer and you've calculated out that you need to buy 69 boxes, and those 69 boxes are going to cost you $1.70 per box. But if you just buy 1 more unit and you buy 70 units instead of 69, you're going to pay $1.40 per box. You're going to pay less and buy more. So of course you're going to do that, okay? So that's the quantity discount model, and we're going to do that with the economic order quantity to determine which quantities we should buy. Because you don't just go buy more and more and more because the price goes down. I don't go to Costco for every single product that I need, okay? I go to Costco for bulk. So for smaller quantities, I'm going to pay a higher price and I'll buy it from somewhere else because I don't want to buy a higher quantity to get that lower price or that price break. So organizations are exactly the same. And with some products, it'll make sense to buy more and get those price breaks, that quantity discount. And in some cases, it will not make sense to buy that higher quantity. So that's what we're going to calculate out together. So there's two ways and two models for price breaks. The first one is when holding costs are constant. So the first step is we're going to compute the economic order quantity, and then we're going to compute the total cost for all price breaks with lower unit cost. We're going to use the smallest quantity in the price break. So that last example I just used, let's say you calculate out your economic order quantity as 69 pieces. You would logically only buy 70 to get that price break at $1.40. You're going to buy one more and you're going to get a lower price. So you're going to use the smallest quantity in the price break. If you need 69, you don't go buy 450 of them, okay? You just do the smallest quantity in that next price break. So if I calculate out, for this example on the screen, that I need 35 of them, I'm going to calculate out what it would cost me to buy 45 of them at $1.70 or 70 of them at $1.40. You don't buy too many more than you need. You always want to use the smallest quantity in that price break for this calculation. Okay, so when holding costs are constant, compute the EOQ and then compute the total cost. So let's do our first example for the quantity discount model. The maintenance department of a large hospital uses 816 cases of liquid cleaner annually. Ordering costs are $12, carrying costs are $4 per case a year, and the new price schedule indicates that orders of less than 50 cases will cost $20 per case, 50 to 79 cases will cost $18 per case, 80 to 99 cases will cost $17 per case, and the larger orders, so anything over 100, will cost $16 per case. So we're going to determine the optimal order quantity and the total cost. So our formula is total cost. This is the same economic order quantity formula that you've seen. We're now adding the purchase cost at the end. This price break schedule was given to you. Okay, so 1 through 49 is $20, 50 through 79 is $18, and 80 through 99 is $17. The large orders of 100 plus are $16 per case. Your annual demand is 816 cases per year. Your setup cost was given, and that's $12 per order. Your holding cost was also given, and that's $4 per case. So let's calculate our economic order quantity. We've been doing this a lot together in the last couple of videos, so I'm not going to linger on this. But your economic order quantity is 70 cases per order. So 70 cases per order is your economic order quantity. Now, before I move on, you've calculated your economic order quantity to be 70 cases. Look at the pricing schedule. If you order 70 cases at a time, you're going to pay $18 per case. Okay, $18 per case. So if you buy 70 at a time, your price is $18, and you have to buy 816 cases per year. So we know our economic order quantity, we know our price now, if we use our economic order quantity, and we know what our annual demand is, which is 816 cases per year. So now we take our economic order quantity to calculate out our total cost. We plug in all the numbers just like we've done a couple times now for total cost, but now we're adding in that $18 per case and that you're going to buy 816 cases per year. So your total cost when we buy our economic order quantity of 70 cases at a time is $14,968. Take a look at the bottom line for just a second. Your annual setup costs are $140. Your annual holding costs are $140. your annual purchasing costs for this item are $14,688. That is why the purchase price matters so much. That is why I am employed and my entire team is employed, because our whole goal is to help organizations reduce the costs of the products that they buy. So if there's a price schedule that gives you a quantity discount and you know that you can get a lower price by ordering more, that's when this model comes into play. We want to see if ordering more and bringing down that price per SKU is going to bring down our costs in the long run. So in this case, when we buy 70 cases at a time, our price is $18 per case. Our annual purchase cost is $14,688, and so therefore our total costs are $14,968. We have a lower price. So let's buy more than that economic order quantity and see if it brings our price down, our total costs down. So again, in this example, our next step is to go to the lowest quantity in the next price break. So right now we're buying 70. Our next price break is at 80. So let's try that. Our economic order quantity is 70. If we round up to the next price break, that's 80 units. So let's start there. When we buy 80 cases at a time, our price is now $17 per case. So $17 per case, we're still buying 816 cases per year. So our total cost has gone down. It's now $14,154. So it's about $800 less to buy the larger quantity. And that's going to help us bring down our total cost. So we're going to buy more than our economic order quantity to get that price break at $17 per case versus $18 per case. Okay, so in this case, it makes more sense because the purchase price matters so much to the equation. But we're not done. There's the $16 price if we were to buy 100 at a time. So let's do that math and see if it makes sense for us to buy 100 cases at a time for $16 per case. And you can see we're now going to be buying $16 is our price per case. We're still buying 816 cases per year. But you can see in our economic order quantity, or our order quantity, because our order quantity is now 100. It's no longer the economic order quantity. Just like our last example, our order quantity was 80, not 70. So we increased our order to 80 to get the $17 price, and that brought our cost down to $14,000. But now we're going to buy 100 at a time. So the 100, the quantity of 100 cases at a time brings our price per case down to 16, and therefore our lowest, that is our lowest total cost of $13,354. So for this example, we want to buy 100 cases at a time because that's the lowest total cost and it's our best choice. It's going to bring our total costs down to $13,354. So we're going to buy more than our economic order quantity. So you're buying 100 cases at a time. You have an annual demand of 816 cases per year. So you're going to place about 8 to 9 orders per year of this item at 100 per order, and your price is $16 per case per order. Okay, so that is the straightforward example. Now let's real quickly look at the other model for price breaks. This is when holding costs are a percentage of the purchase price. And like I explained in the economic production quantity model lecture recording, that this is historically how I have always done holding costs. I have looked at a percentage of the purchase price. So if that is the case, then to do the quantity discount model, we're going to add in another step. Okay, we have to calculate out what that holding cost is, and then we've got to make sure that the quantity that we are buying is a feasible solution. So for this model, our holding costs are a percentage of the purchase price. We start with the lowest unit price and compute the economic order quantity. If the economic order quantity is in that lowest price range, then we're all done. We're finished, and we don't have to go any further. But if it's not, and the calculation is not feasible, then we have to compute the total costs for the next lower price range to see if it is a feasible order solution. So here's our second example of the quantity discount model. Surge Electric uses 4,000 toggle switches per year. Switches are priced as follows. Between 1 and 499, they're 90 cents each. Between 500 and 999, they are 85 cents each. And 1,000 or more are 80 cents each. It costs approximately $30 to prepare an order and receive it, and carrying costs are 40% of the purchase price per unit on an annual basis. So it's 40% of the purchase price. Determine the optimal order quantity and the total annual cost. Okay, so everything here was given to you. You can see that annual demand is 4,000 switches per year. Your setup cost is $30 per order, and your holding cost is 40% of the price. The pricing schedule was given to you. So you know that your price for 1 through 499 is 90 cents. Between 500 and 999 is 85 cents. A quantity that you buy over 1,000 units is 80 cents. So you simply take 40% multiplied by the purchase price, and that gives you your holding cost for each different quantity discount. So for 90 cents, if you're buying items at 90 cents, your holding cost is 36 cents. If you're buying something at 85 cents, your holding cost is 34 cents. If you're buying something for 80 cents, your holding cost is 32 cents. So let's start with the lowest price and check to see if our economic order quantity is a feasible solution. Okay, so we're starting with 80 cents. At 80 cents, our holding cost is 32 cents. We know that our annual demand is 4,000 switches. We know that our setup cost is $30 per order. So at the price of 80 cents, our holding cost is 32 cents, and that calculates out to be 866 switches. So before I go on, do you see any issues with this? Well, you can't buy 866 switches for a price of 80 cents. It doesn't fall into that price break or that quantity discount. The 80-cent price only applies to orders of 1,000 or more. So this is not feasible. Okay? 80 cents is only valid for a quantity of 1,000 plus switches, so it's not feasible. This does not work. So now let's check the next lowest price, which is 85 cents. So for 85 cents, our annual demand stays the same. Our our setup cost stays the same, but our holding cost changes now to 34 cents because we're buying them at 85 cents. So now we calculate out that our economic order quantity is 840 switches. Does this work? It does. You can buy 840 switches for 85 cents. That is in the viable or the feasible price break range. 840's in that range. So that works. But there's one more price, so let's check it. Okay, 90 cents, holding cost of 36 cents. That gives you 816 switches as your economic order quantity, but that does not work either because when you're going to pay 90 cents per switch, you're not going to be buying 816 switches at a time. It is not that price break. When you buy 816 switches, it's at a price of 85 cents and a holding cost of 34 cents. So therefore, we have now calculated our economic order quantity as 840 switches. Okay? Our EOQ is 840 switches. But this is the quantity discount model. We're not trying to calculate the economic order quantity. That's just the first step. Just like the last example, we want to see if we save money by buying more than the economic order quantity. So let's look and see what our total cost is when we buy the economic order quantity, or if we buy more to get the price break. So because a quantity of 840 is in the 500 to 999 range, it is a feasible solution. So let's calculate the total cost using 840. We add in the known information. So now we can use our holding cost of 34 cents. We can use the purchase price of 85 cents. And we add in our annual demand of 4,000 switches per year. And that gives us a total cost of $3,686 as our total cost when we buy the economic order quantity. So great, we're done, right? We're not done. We're not done because with the quantity discount model, we can buy more than 840 units at a time. We can round up to the next price break for 1,000 units, and then we get a discount, and we buy them for 80 cents a piece. And our holding costs go down. So let's see if that lowers our total cost. So now we're going to use 80 cents as our purchase price, 32 cents as our holding cost, and now that brings down our total annual cost, or our total cost, to $3,480. So for this example, it makes sense to buy the 1,000 unit price break because we're going to pay 80 cents. And the 80 cent price and the lower holding cost is going to bring down our total overall cost to $3,480. So some final words on the quantity discount model. The lowest price does not always yield the lowest total cost because holding costs are increasing. Okay? Even though your price for the holding cost may go down, your total holding costs will go up because you're buying more. Okay, so when you buy more, your holding costs go up even if your price per holding cost goes down. Lastly, we want to be sure to test combinations until you find the lowest total cost. After you've calculated your economic order quantity, calculate the total cost at that price. If there's a lower price, start over again and use that next price break to see if it brings down your total cost. Repeat this process until you run out of lower prices or when the total cost is higher at that higher price. The price break might not make sense the next time around. Every example that we went through in this lecture, it did work out that when you bought more, your total costs went down. It will not always work that way in a manufacturing setting. If you're going out there and you buy more, it might actually bring your costs up, even though you're buying each item at a lower price per unit. So you're going to repeat this process to find that we want to get to that lowest total cost using all of the different price breaks. This model, this quantity discount model, will help us to calculate out what the right quantity to buy is, given the economic order quantity plus the purchase cost, and that's going to help us to find our lowest total cost. So it is not straightforward. You're going to have to play around a little bit using the lower prices and the variation to the holding cost to find what your lowest total cost is. And that is the quantity discount model.